you think about daily care and management of horses, I kind of think about 6 key things. The first one is that you want to make sure that ideally they have free access to water at all times. So we do that through automatic waters, through water tanks, or through water buckets that we fill twice a day to make sure that they have that water whenever they desire. Horses drink at least 10 gallons of water a day. So that's a decent amount of water to always make sure is available for horses. And that is a great way to decrease a number of diseases and complications that horses have. A second thing is to make sure that their diet is based on their forage requirement primarily. So by that, I mean that we look to buy either really high quality hay to start the basis of our diet, or if we have access to pasture and the horse can graze natural forage and grass, then that's a great way to get the bulk of the horse's nutritional requirements in their diet. And then if you have a horse that is growing, competing, showing, that type of thing, pregnant, lactating, those are horses that we often, not only do we feed them the forage, but we add in some type of grain or concentrate to balance that nutrient requirement that they have. The third thing would be exercise. So horses need to move around every day. And that can be done in a couple different ways. We find, and most facilities find, that the least expensive way to do that is actually to have horses just living outside and getting free exercise in our pastures. But if you're in a location that doesn't have pasture availability, then you just have to really focus on how you would exercise that horse on a daily basis, either by riding them or lunging them or turning them out for a certain period of time. And that promotes good health within their entire body, their leg health, things like that. Another one that we often think about is shelter. Horses do really good in cold and hot temperatures. They're very well adapted for that, especially if we compare it with some other livestock species and even companion animal species. But if we have situations where it's really, really hot and really humid, or especially in the winter, if you have a situation where it is cold and drizzly and then the temperature drops suddenly really cold, those are times when the horse is less able to acclimate to that temperature. In which case, if they have a tree line they can get under, a shed that they can go inside, or worst case scenario, bring them into a barn so that they can get out of those elements. But fortunately, that is a very small percentage of the time that we have them. Most of the time, they are very happy and healthy outside. Another one that we look at as far as a daily care requirement is that horses are herd animals. So they are mentally always looking for that herd environment and those social interactions with other horses. So if we can have them living with other horses, that's ideal and probably the easiest way to meet that social interaction. But it's certainly not the only way. We can also have horses that can at least see each other from their enclosure, whether that's a stall or a pasture or a dry lot situation. But one thing to remember about horses is that they are herd animals, and while there are occasionally horses that can do well in kind of a solitary existence, most of them really desire and need either that social contact or at least visual contact with another horse. The last one is routine kind of health checks. So every time that we are taking care of our horses, we're not only feeding them and watering them, but we're also giving them a complete once-over from top to bottom to make sure that we don't see any injuries, any lamenesses, any signs of illness. Because if we notice those things early on and we make an action plan, either with our veterinarian or because of our experience, then we're more likely to have less complications, less long-term issues, and shorter periods of time for treatment for those particular injuries. So those are kind of some basic things to keep in mind in regards to daily horse care and management and those requirements. So our facility can provide lots of hands-on opportunities for students to explore lots of areas of equine handling, management, and the science behind all of those management decisions. And we have students that are involved in our facilities all the way from those that have shown competitively in national breed organizations to those that have not had opportunities to work with much more than a cat or dog. All of those students get equal opportunities at our facility to hone in on hands-on experiences with horses.
To find out more about the Kaffner experience, visit our website, kaffner.missouri.edu.